I'm Chef Julie from Continental. One dish my family never stops asking for is the classic beef stroganoff. Good thing I don't get sick of making it either. This is a great recipe for an easy and delicious midweek meal. To make the classic beef stroganoff, you will need 500 grams of rump steak, 1 large onion sliced, 1 cup of sliced mushrooms, some oil, packet of Continental beef stroganoff recipe base, 1 1/4 cups of water and sour cream. So firstly, I'm going to take some of our rump steak and slice it really thinly. So I've got a really nice sharp knife here, so you can really thinly slice your meat. And we'll chop our onions and mushrooms. And then today I'm going to use some cup mushrooms. So I'm just going to slice quite thinly, just a couple of these mushrooms. Okay, so we're going to add some oil to this heated pan. Firstly, we're going to start adding some of our meat. You can hear that pan's beautiful and hot. Now it's really important to cook your meat in batches, because otherwise it's going to get really stewed and it won't brown, and that really impacts on the flavour of the meat. Also, this meat's really thinly cut, so it'll cook really, really quickly, and that's what we want. So I'll take that out. Just set that to one side and we'll put that back in later. So next we're going to put our onions and our mushrooms. I'm just going to add a touch more oil, just so that it doesn't stick on the bottom. Just going to brown those mushrooms off and just make sure the onions are softened and a bit of colour. I'm going to take our 1 1/4 cups of water and one of our Continental Stroganoff recipe bases. Just mix those together. So we're just going to add our meat back into the pan. And make sure you add all those juices back in as well, because they really add to the flavour of this dish. And just give that a stir. So once that's brought to the boil, we can just put the lid on and we can relax for 20 minutes. I'm just going to turn that down really low and pop the lid on. So it's nearly ready. I'm just going to turn off the heat. And look at that, it's smelling delicious already, but we've still got to add a couple more ingredients. So I'm just going to add 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Yum. I'm just going to slowly stir that through. Now you don't need to heat this again, because the heat from the pan will just make that sour cream melt into that sauce. And then the final touch, I'm just going to chop up some fresh Continental parsley. And that'll just be our garnish to go on top of the form. So I'm just going to give that a nice chop. And spoon some of this delicious beef stroganoff into the bowl. Sprinkle over the parsley. I love to serve this with some steamed rice and fresh green beans. So you can find this recipe and loads of other great meal ideas on the Continental website.